From a whisper to a storm, from a keel to a door, from a floor upon a dial.
So, this new album has been a while in coming. If I'm not mistaken, it's like 3 years and 2 months approximately, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I believe it's almost a year since you were in the studio recording.
Well, it's almost a year since we started the whole process because it's been taking ages. Since we decided to do it for ourselves, it meant that, finding locations, ordering the equipment, waiting for the actual equipment to arrive, and waiting for the right equipment to arrive, and set everything up, rebuild our rehearsal room. Shitload of just logistics.
Okay, because this album was recorded actually, maybe I'm almost entirely by your brother, BP.
Yeah, he's done all like the technician stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, occasionally we'd push a button or two, but it's his sound, it's his production.
And did he take care of all the mixing, everything? I mean,
Yeah,
the drums and everything were done.
It's his sound.
Okay, because
I mean, we mastered it elsewhere, obviously.
Yeah.
But everything apart from that is BP.
Okay.
I think he did a hell of a job.
Yeah, because the sound of the album is it's very impressive. And was this the first time he undertook such a big project?
First entire album, yeah.
Yeah.
He's done like smaller productions before, but his first entire.
So this was almost like a baptism of fire for him.
Yeah, I think very much so.
Are you proud of your little brother?
I am, I have to say.
Where was the album mastered?
Maur Appelbaum Studios.
Where's that?
Oh Jesus, it's somewhere in the US.
Okay, in the US, okay.
Yeah.
Second album for Peace Rail Records. Yeah, so now with 8 Ways, I mean, for those of us who've been lucky enough to hear it, the album is, again, it's hard to describe. I've always kind of considered you guys to be like an outsider in the Norwegian scene, because, for example, I remember you had this 4-page spread in the sadly now defunct Metal Maniacs magazine, which basically, it was basically 4 pages of saying how fantastic they thought Madam Morton was. So it seems to be a band that's very much a critic's choice. Would you agree?
We seem to be.
Yeah.
I think that might have to do with the fact that if you're listening to like 50 albums every week, you're going to be really happy to hear something that's a bit different. That's my theory, at least. 'Cause I'm figuring that people who sort of more or less professionally write about music or work with music, I think they have a greater desire for something that's different, fresh, something that's not the other 20 albums you've heard that day, something that sticks out a bit. And also I think they probably have quite a lot of knowledge about music in some way, not necessarily technical about tonalities or about how you do stuff, but people who have listened to a lot of music and know a lot of music, I think, would find quite a lot of fun and interesting stuff in what we do, I think.
Do you think it's, on one hand, being this band which definitely stands out from the crowd, there's probably not a lot of elements, or not enough, that would appeal to, like, the lowest common denominator kind of audience, because a lot of bands who sell a lot of albums are bands that aren't particularly offering something fresh, or in a lot of cases something particularly worthwhile. So do you think it's hard to sell a band like Madam Morton for the labels?
To begin with, I think, I think it's sort of, they have to think a bit more original as well, because you can't just put a sticker on it that says power metal, for instance. We're not that easy to label, and if you did, people would be sorely disappointed when they sort of peeled off the sticker and actually listened to the album. So I think it's not as straightforward to market. I think you have to think differently about it and sort of just let it be what it is, which is music, made for music's sake. But I think the record industry has a tendency to want to really, really desperately want to label things, even more than the people who actually listen to the music and buy the music. Most record buyers, let's give them some credit, they generally listen to the music and can perfectly well decide for themselves whether they like it or not. But the labels seem to need this, the huge stickers saying, this is that, and keep it neatly in compartments all the way. But then again, I think if you sort of reach a certain point, like Opeth did, at some point, the uniqueness makes it easier to sell because it is a distinct thing that is different from other things. Look at like one of my favorite bands, Faith No More, for instance. They're not necessarily all that straightforward. They're quite quirky and difficult at times, but that worked.
That's very true. So you think perhaps that labels are, in some cases, underestimating their audiences by trying to, adopt almost a fast food approach to the music and trying to make everything just basically dumb things down for people?
Yeah. But that's marketing for you in any sort of industry, I think.
But maybe the fact that you've had so much longevity now is down to the fact that you've never easily fit into any boxes or never really told the line as much as maybe some other bands, no names mentioned. Or perhaps, it could be another aspect that I've found interesting is that the Matter crew, now you all come from a pretty small area, okay?
Yeah.
Do you think the fact that you have this very much a family vibe amongst all of you, would you agree with that?
Yeah, very much.
That's also played a big part because, if I can just continue with this long question, I mean, most or all of the ex-members, I mean, you still hang out, you're still friends, you're still in contact. And Christian, who does all your artwork, he's also from the old crew from years ago. So it's a very close-knit group. That has to play a part in the fact that, because Man of Morton formed in '93, is that correct? Oh, Misty Sleep formed.
Well, the Mystery Tribe thingy, that was sort of like the predecessor?
The predecessor, yes.
Predecessor of Man of Morton.
She's showing off now.
I'm showing
Yeah.
off. I am. That was around 93, I think. Yeah.
So that's 16 years.
Yeah. Nice.
And you don't really have any ex-members who hate you or who you hate?
No, we're still friends.
Okay, so...
Hold on. I think it's been really important. I mean, that's more to do with... There are like two factors that are big time important for us sticking with it. Because, I mean, it's not been... we haven't had an easy ride in a way. I mean, we've had lineup changes for different reasons. There's been all this back and forth with labels and all this logistics again. But there's one that we always have been doing music for music's sake, for ourselves and for our own idea of art, what we'd like to do without any regard for anything else, which has kept it interesting. And then there's this family thing, in which I think it's a hell of a lot easier to be in a band with somebody you really like.
And somebody who you've liked for a long time as well.
Yeah, and communication is much easier. I mean, music can be a very personal thing when, like, working with ideas and sort of making that step into being really open when you're open-minded when you're working. That I think that it's very intimate, and to get, at least to me, I'm not that open to new people, and to get to that level where I feel comfortable of sharing that much of myself with people, I think I need to have this. It needs to be a family member.
That kind of begs the question: if for example, you lost 1 or 2 or 3 members tomorrow, do you have a whole reserve people from this area?
Sort of.
Now.